Hey, what's up? I am Ara, aka Zebra, and welcome back to the channel. The intro for House of the Dragon has finally been revealed in episode 2, The Rogue Prince. Ramin Djawadi's infamous theme music from Game of Thrones returns to House of the Dragon. Unlike the opening credits of Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon does not label the images we see on screen. I will be honest, on my first watch of the episode, I was not completely sure what I was looking at. After watching the episode a few times and keeping up with Twitter roasts, I think we have a solid idea of what we are looking at. We are looking at the Targaryen family tree, or for my Direwolf City listeners, I like to call it the Targaryen family wreath. In the opening credits, we do not see every member of the Targaryen family or even all of the reigning monarchs. We only see those whose progeny is important to this current generation and era of the family. Also, the only people represented in the credits have Targaryen blood. I'll bring this up again later. Now let's start at where it all began, back in Valyria. In the center, we see an image of the Doom of Valyria, the tragedy that led to House Targaryen's rise in power as one of the only remaining dragon lords in the known world. Once Aegon the Conqueror set his eyes on uniting Westeros against the threat of the others, check out my previous video covering this topic, link below, he rose as the first king of Westeros and the founder of a legendary dynasty. We see blood fill into the first circle and what appears to be the Conqueror's crown in the center. As the blood flows down, we can see carved into the wall Aegon's conquest, which he couldn't do without the help of his two sisters, whom we see in the next two circles. On the left, we have Visenya, and on the right, we have Rhaenys. Aegon has children with both of his sisters. However, like I said, only the ones who are direct ancestors of the current generation are focused on and shown, which is why we don't see a symbol for Maegor coming from Visenya. I also want to point out that on Rhaenys' circle, it looks like the Martell sigil, but rather than a spear piercing a sun, it is piercing a dragon. Brief history note here. Rhaenys and her dragon Meraxes were killed in Dorne, which is ruled by House Martell. We see the blood flow from Rhaenys to her son, King Aenys. We see King Aenys' crown here. Notice that we do not see another circle for Aenys' wife. That is because she is not from House Targaryen, but House Velaryon. We see his blood go in different directions because he had other children. However, it focuses on his two most well-known children, Good Queen Alysanne and King Jaehaerys. We see their circles have their respective crowns in the center. You can also see plenty of paths of blood going in different directions. That is because they had 16 children. Of those 16 children, we will see 3 in the opening credits. Starting with Prince Balon and his sister wife, Princess Alyssa. Princess Alyssa died due to complications of childbirth, giving birth to a third son who did not long survive her. We can see her circle is completely filled with blood on the left, and Prince Balon's circle has a hand of the king's sigil in it, as he served at his father's hand until his death. Princess Alyssa and Prince Balon had 2 surviving sons, Viserys and Daemon, whose lines we see here. Prince Daemon's circle we see first, and we see the blood start to flow to the 2 turquoise circles representing his twins with Laena Velaryon, Baela and Rhaena Targaryen, who we will see in House of the Dragon Season 1 as they have been spotted in trailer footage. The camera pans back over towards King Viserys' line as we can see his crown in the center. To his right, we see another circle for Queen Aemma, who is not only Viserys' wife, but also first cousin, as her mother was another child of King Jaehaerys and Queen Alysanne. In Queen Aemma's circle, it looks like there is a circlet, and in the center, the Falcon of House Arryn. We see their blood paths joined together in the center, but we also see Viserys' travel down a separate path, representing his other children not with Queen Aemma. One of whom I believe we briefly see here being that of Prince Aegon Targaryen, Viserys' son with Alicent. Flooding by Aegon, we see a heavy flow of blood, but before we see where that path leads, we get a shot of 2 other circles, one bleeding into the other. I believe the circle on the higher platform is the other child of King Jaehaerys and Queen Alysanne that I mentioned earlier, and that circle would represent their son, Prince Aemon, Balon and Alyssa's elder brother. His circle flows into that of his only child and heir, Princess Rhaenys, aka the queen that never was. Rhaenys' mother was a Baratheon, which is why she's not featured there. Rhaenys marries Corlys Velaryon and has two children, Laena and Laenor. I mentioned her grandchildren by Laena appearing alongside their father, Prince Daemon, in a previous shot. We see Rhaenys circle filled, but due to her children being of House Velaryon from their father, they do not appear here. The camera pans back to the flood of blood we saw rushing down earlier, leading to Princess Rhaenyra. The flood that came in was from Queen Aemma and King Viserys. We can see at the center of Rhaenyra's circle, it is the same symbol on the Valyrian steel necklace Prince Daemon gives her. We see that Rhaenyra's circle also has paths leading out of it, representing her children. I think as they are born, they might be added to the credits. The camera then pans to a carving on the wall with a dragon in the center, surrounded by sigils of what appear to be other houses that are more than likely important to this story and the Targaryen family overall. I'll be honest, I have poor eyesight, so I can only make out a few of the sigils. It looks like there is a stag of House Baratheon, then the High Tower for House Hightower, a seahorse for House Velaryon, and a falcon for House Aaron. Let me know what you all think in the comments about what houses the other sigils represent. Well, the blood flows back, and we get this overhead shot of the citadel of the Dragon Lords of Valyria that King Viserys is carving and describes in episode 2. As you can see, there are different levels in the model of the blood flow, all representing different generations of House Targaryen, all culminating together into the three-headed dragon sigil of the house, flowing in from 8 sides. I was really hoping it would be 7 to represent the 7 gods, but whatever. And that is the last thing we see in the title sequence. Let me know what you think the title sequence is about in the comments down below. If you want my thoughts and further breakdowns of House of the Dragon, check out Direwolf City live on Monday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Direwolf City YouTube channel, linked in the description. Please, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for future uploads. See you next time. Bye!